Hi everybody, it's Cynthia from It All Changes. I first saw this on Caitlin's blog, and so I thought instead of doing my normal little, pep talk at the beginning of my goals for the week, I would do a vlog or a vlog talking about my accent. I think also because I just got back from our grocery co-op and the girl thought I was from down south instead of, well, I'm not really from anywhere. This is kind of the thing. My parents were in the U.S. Army, so I've lived everywhere from Frankfurt, Germany. I studied in Spain. I've lived in Louisiana, and now I currently live in Massachusetts, although I went to school for several years in New York, Western New York. So the way it is that I read a list of words, and they're all down below here, and I also read you some questions. I've added a few at the bottom because I saw them on other vlogs where people said that they really should be included, and I thought they were pretty funny. So, especially since I've experienced them from being in other places. So, here we go. The words are ant, root, wash, oil, theater, iron, salmon, caramel, fire, water, sure, data, ruin, crayon, toilet, Narlands. This one's difficult because it says pecan or pecan. I always said pecan pie, but they're pecans if you eat them as a nut. So that's my weird little dialect thing. Both, again, probably, spit and image, Alabama, lawyer, coupon, mayonnaise, syrup, pajamas, caught. Now here's the questions. What is it called when you throw toilet paper on a house? I called it toilet papering as a kid. I've heard people call it TPing. I never actually did the thing, so I don't know what you'd call it if you were actually going to do it. What is the bug that when you touch it, it curls into a ball? That would be a caterpillar. I don't know what a roly-poly is, but it's a caterpillar. What is the bubbly carbonated drink called? Now, the thing is, I've lived all three places, or three places that have called it all three things that people have mentioned. I currently call it soda, but I've lived in places that call it pop and had the whole pop versus soda argument. And when I was really little, I lived down south where they called it Coke, and you did have to ask for an orange Coke or a Pepsi Coke, and so I've lived all those places. What do you call gym shoes? If I'm actually going to go to the gym in them, they're my gym shoes. If I'm going to go running, they're running shoes. And if they're just for fun, knocking around in, they're sneakers. What do you say to address a group of people? I say hi, but if I'm talking about a group of people, you've probably noticed that I write the word y'all. I think that's what gets me mistaken for a southerner a lot, because I say y'all, and in the words up top I said Narlands instead of New Orleans. So that's just, I guess I picked that up really easily when I was a kid. What do you call the kind of spider that has an oval-shaped body and extremely long legs? A daddy long legs? What do you call your grandparents? They always grandma and grandpa and then their last name, like Grandma Arscott, Grandpa Arscott, and all so on and so forth. I also had a great-grandma when I was younger that we lived with, and we just called her Grandma instead of great-grandma, and I kind of confused some teachers when I would write papers about my two grandmas that had the same last name. What do you call the wheeled contraption in which you carry groceries at the supermarket? First of all, it's a grocery store, not a supermarket. Second of all, it's called a cart. Go get a cart or a shopping cart. Both work. What do you call it when the rain falls when the sun is shining? I think I got this one from my grandma too, and my mom says it. They say it's spitting outside. It doesn't matter if the sun's shining, it's spitting. Or drizzling, but mostly spitting. Let's see what's next. What is the thing you change the TV channel with? Normally it's the remote, but I've said clicker a lot. I think that comes from being around friends that said clicker, but I normally say remote. And then these are some of the ones that I got from other blogs. What do you call the thing that you can drink water from in public? I call it a water fountain, but when I lived in Rhode Island, well, actually I lived in Massachusetts and worked in Rhode Island, somebody came into Bed Bath & Beyond and asked for a bubbler. And I sent them to the pretty little fountains that, like have rocks and flowing water and everything, and they looked at me so confused because apparently that is not what they were looking for. So I call it a water fountain. Some people call it a drinking fountain or a bubbler. I call it a water fountain. And the other question that I found on another blog that I thought was funny says, what is the caffeinated beverage sold at Starbucks? And that's coffee. Not coffee or caffee or whatever other people say. But I call it coffee. You might think my accent's weird if you listen to me, and it also depends upon where I'm at. I was talking with Maria from Chasing the Now by email, and she does slip into it a lot more when she's around her family, and so if I'm around somebody who's from down south, or if I'm mad, angry, excited, I can slip into the southern part really easily. That's because I was there when I was a kid. But I hope you enjoyed it, and then check out the goals below, see how I did on my monster list of goals from last week, and see the new goals I set for myself this week.